Today we'll speak of dopamine fasting while you're traveling. When you're traveling, it is the perfect time for you to dopamine fast. It might seem obvious, but I still see a lot of people out there. I'm still in Barcelona. I see a lot of people out there, and it's so obvious it's tourists. They're still on their phones, almost drowning in dopamine by using their Twitter or Facebook accounts, and we gotta update what we're doing here right now in Barcelona. We're in Barcelona. We're in we're on the beach. We drink this and that, and we're talking about this, or you don't even talk about what you're talking about, like what you're conversing about. But so it's important that you use your travels. Now, some people are businessmen and traveling for business, but it's important that doesn't matter who it is, it's important that you focus on your traveling instead of all these gadgets destroying your dopamine center in your brain. So you have to be disciplined, and now that's easy to say, but that is something you have to work on. You have to there are no shortcuts. You gotta work on this, and you are going to get there. But of course, you have the whole culture against you. But isn't it fun to be against the mainstream? It's kind of fun. All right, so while you're traveling, it's the perfect time for you to just look things up, like turn off your phone, look things up on a laptop preferably, and even on the laptop, do not go to all these sites. And just look up whatever you wanna, or if you might have already planned everything. So then it's just a thing for you to just relax and enjoy reality instead. Just enjoy reality instead. Look at your partner or your kids or whoever that's in front of you, and talk to them, look at them, smile at them, be cheerful, mention details around you, surrounding you, mention things, teach them, or if you don't know read something about the place you're traveling to. Read about the location, and read about these things so that you have something to tell your kids, or tell your partner, or whoever, or your friend or colleague, or so you have stuff to talk about. You gotta have things to talk about. You gotta have interests. You gotta be interested in everything. And that's also how you get intelligent, but that's for another video. So you have to just turn it off. Turn off the damn phone when you're traveling. Of course, I understand you use the GPS for stuff, but it's not that important. Actually, you don't have to use your GPS. Go to the closest tourist information, like a bureau or something, whatever, and get there and ask for a map. And then use the map for once. Like you might learn something new, or ask people on the streets for local guidance. And so it is quite easy to just ignore the phone. I mean, it's not that hard. Once you drop out of the matrix, so to speak, it's not that hard. It's refreshing. It's feels good. It's the best. I mean, reality. I rather live in reality than waste time on Twitter or whatever social media we're using. It used to be I was on Facebook, and then I went to Twitter. But that was much later. But still, Twitter was truly addictive. So, especially when it's all poisonous politics. It's crazy out there. It is crazy. It just makes people worse. It just makes you worse. Instead of not just empathic, but you're much deeper. You have more experience. Yeah, you have much more experience in life when you live in life, in reality, instead of in the simulation. It's not even a simulation. It's, it is something else. You just click on these buttons and on these likes and dislikes and waiting for notifications like a addict, looking for more notifications and, oh, they liked my tweet. Oh, congratulations. Wow, they liked your tweet. Wow, what a big deal. You should win the Nobel Prize for that. No, yeah. So instead of using social media, why don't you work on your Nobel Prize instead in something? That would be much more productive, much better, you would add something to society or to humanity or to history in some sense. Or it makes a lot of sense. And so yeah, while you're traveling, this is the perfect time for you to, and whenever you feel like you want to pick up the phone, whenever you catch yourself picking up the phone and catch yourself trying to go to social media or playing games on your phone, by the way, it doesn't have to be social media, but it's that I've never played that much on cell phones, on smartphones. So pick up a book instead. One of your, most people travel with a book, one book at least, or go to a bookstore and buy a book. Most places have English books as well. So, and just go there and buy one and read that instead. And no, don't use Wikipedia or don't use anything on the internet, because you'll just slip up. You'll just get there again. So you're gonna go to the social media again, or play games, or play some games, and so you're just gonna waste your whole travel. So why don't you just and turn off the TV if you're in a hotel or wherever you are? Do not watch TV. Listen to your own thoughts. They're not that dangerous, I promise you. It's gonna be okay, It is okay. You don't have to worry about that. All right? So when you travel, avoid the phone. It's not that hard. Turn it off. Use the old way in everything. Like if you're getting somewhere, get a physical map. Well, obviously you know where you want to head out. You check the streets and street name and number, then you just head there. You look at the on the street there, and you just walk and think for once. You use your brain. You use your brain instead of letting the GPS think for you. The same actually happens in social media. Other people tell you things, say things, even if it's advice or if it's a political comment, and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh yeah, that's my thought now. No, it's not your thought. You didn't create anything because you didn't think deep enough about it. So if you see something on social media and it's an opinion or something, you have to think much deeper about it and see the so-called arguments of the enemy and so forth. So, but that's if you're like intellectual stuff. So, I mean, All right. So, yeah. So you avoid your phone, avoid the TV, meet people, talk to people. Don't be a weirdo. Uh, don't stay in your room all day. Go out, even if it's sunny, like super. I mean, if it's like incredibly hot, you go out. You can avoid the walk where it's much nicer, but and always bring your water bottle with you, or if it's winter, but so yeah, when you're traveling, it's the perfect opportunity to do a dopamine fast. It's a perfect opportunity. I mean, life should be dopamine fast. The whole thing should be a dopamine fast. It's incredible that we even have to talk about this, but I see so many people on their phones, even old people, old couples. Saw them yesterday. Like, instead of talking to each other, looking at each other in the eyes and loving each other. And there was a different couple, old couple, so a few days ago before that, and they were doing just that. Instead of on their phone, they were hugging each other, kissing, and so forth. And it should be that your whole life, or as much as possible. That's your goal. That's what you should strive for. But instead we're on our phone, wasting our whole day. You should actually record yourself doing these things. I think that would help a lot of people. Just make someone film you, or film yourself somehow. Put a different camera somewhere, and or a whole day or something, and see what you're wasting time on. Or write down everything you're doing, your whole day. Like write down each hour what you have done and so forth. You can do that as well. Or every 15 minutes, but maybe that's too much. But depends on how detailed you want to be. How and so yeah, when you're traveling, dopamine fasting is the perfect opportunity. But yeah, like I said, I see a lot of people still on their phones and so forth. Just try something new instead. Like if you're on the beach, instead of taking a picture and putting it on Instagram, screw that. Go borrow or like, or buy or something, surfing board, and start surfing or something completely new. Or if there is a calisthenics place there, to do some pull-ups or train with some people and talk to them if you're in the mood to talk to them. And at least do something. You don't have to talk to everyone, but at least you can do things, like physical things. And so yeah, in Barcelona, that's what you see here. So, but I still see a lot of people on their phones all the time. It's incredible. It's a huge problem. I don't know how the world can work any longer. How does everything work now? No one is focusing on anything. They're not focusing on anything. They're just tapping into this dopamine addiction 24/7, almost 24/7. It's not 24/7, but it is not that far away, thanks to sleeping. But even when you're going to sleep, you lay there. That's typical of everyone right now. You lay there before you sleep and destroy your eyes. And yeah, you see, I have glasses and I've destroyed mine for many years because I've been on a computer since like when I was perhaps 6 years old or something. I grew up with the internet. So yeah, back in the 90s. Yeah, so I'm used to all these gadgets, and I know what they mean. And but instead of become it, like I said, see it as a way to be creative instead, or create something through that media, like through Instagram or something. Instead, create something. And taking pictures on Snapchat is not creating something. So and just putting pictures and motivation quotes on Instagram is not creating something, and it's not creative either. You gotta create something completely, your own. And so yeah, that's what you gotta work on. So when you travel, that's what you should do. All right. So if you have any problems with this, you can reach me for consultations. The email is down below. It's also in the about page, and you can read there what I'm about. And so yeah, reach out, and if we are a match, we can work together and we'll fix these problems one by one, step by step. It's a whole process. It takes some time. You have to grow, but you'll get there. All right. See you.